Right now at noon, the parents of a Joplin area firefighter reach a wrongful death settlement.
And we are a little cooler today. We've got some clouds, but still above average. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe makes a series of stops across Joplin. What changes he's hoping to address.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Firefighters battle a large chicken barn fire near Fairview, Missouri this morning. This is KOAM News. I'm Samantha Walker. The blaze broke out just before 10 a.m. at a chicken barn near Zebra Drive and Mulberry Road in Newton County. Midway Fire Department leads the response with assistance from multiple departments, including Neosho Fire. Authorities say the chicken houses were occupied. KOAM's Shannon Becker is there. We'll have more tonight on KOAM News. A long abandoned home in Newton County burns this morning. Just before 8 a.m., reports came in of a structure fire on East Glendale Road near Shoal Creek and I-44. Reddings Mill and Joplin Fire and Newton County deputies responded. The home has been unlivable due to a previous fire, so no residents were inside. Anyone who may have seen anything suspicious prior to the fire is asked to contact the Newton County Sheriff's Office. Now let's check in with Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, we've got some clouds out there, which you can see from downtown Pittsburgh. Again, a bit breezy. You probably just saw the camera shake there a little bit. And our temperatures, again, they are cooler than yesterday, but still warmer than normal. MoDOT camera 20th in range line in Joplin, showing those mostly cloudy skies as well. We're at 67 in Joplin, 59 in Pittsburgh. So you can kind of get an idea as to right where that cold front is. And there it is. So look, we've actually reached low 70s because this front is still even slower than what we were talking about this morning. By this time, it should have been here. So it's slowed down a bit more. So that's why, again, we're a little cooler back behind it into the 50s. But ahead of it, because it has slowed a bit, we've done a little more warming, low mid 70s. And you can see, again, where that front has passed through. 24 hours ago, we were about 15 degrees warmer or so, upwards of 20 degrees warmer in parts of southeast Kansas, but not much change here because that front just hasn't made it through yet. It will eventually make it through the rest of the area. We'll have those mostly cloudy to cloudy skies, low 50s by 7, dropping into the mid 40s by 11 o'clock tonight. Gusty winds continue overnight tonight. We clear out, winds ease up. We're a little cooler tomorrow, and then we've got some rain on the way. Details in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Thanks, Chris. The parents of a Joplin area firefighter who died in a golf cart accident reached a $150,000 wrongful death settlement. Tucker Berry was off duty when he was thrown from a golf cart in October of 2024 in Carl Junction and struck his head. He never regained consciousness. The settlement involves 2 men who were driving golf carts during the incident. Brant Cullen, who was driving the cart Berry fell from, still faces criminal charges of involuntary manslaughter. The Berry family will receive just over $99,000 after attorney fees. Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe made several stops in Joplin yesterday, highlighting education, workforce development, and health care. Governor Kehoe used his visit in Joplin to talk about broader challenges facing the state, among them how Missouri positions itself for growth and competes with other states for residents and investment.
We need to grow our population. Missouri's population has been stagnant for 30 or 40 years, and we think you need to change up what we're doing. Our state income tax brings in about almost $9 billion from Missourians every year. My position is let Missourians spend and invest that money much better off than letting any government elected official, including myself, that's not a shot at elected officials. People can always spend their money better than government can. I think that's a good thing.
The governor says improving efficiency, updating Missouri's decades-old tax framework, and controlling costs are key steps towards strengthening the state's long-term growth. Well, a woman who asked the Joplin City Council to acknowledge a homeless man's death says she's facing backlash instead of empathy. Amanda Bearden says she wanted the council to recognize the death of 41-year-old James Boyer, who died from hypothermia in Joplin last month. KOAM's Kenny Foreman sat down with Bearden, who is still seeking answers from the city.
I would like one more second to just say, James Boyer.
At last week's city council meeting, Amanda Bearden was hoping the council would at least acknowledge the recent death of James Boyer. Instead, she says she was met with backlash from council members.
As a Carl Junction resident, how many times have you addressed your Carl Junction City Council about these same issues and advocated for support and help from the community that you're a taxpayer and registered voter for?
That
Once,
doesn't pertain
twice,
to this. Mr.
Never?
Boyer and the community that
Ma'am, that's not what I asked. Once, twice, never what?
I have not
It's a numerical.
Rather than engaging with me about the death of Mr. Boyer or showing any kind of empathy, he immediately went on the attack, asking why I was there speaking when I'm not a Joplin resident, and then telling me that I should take many of the unsheltered to Carl Junction, which is where I am a resident, even though I only live 2 miles from the airport.
41-year-old Boyer was found dead near the Residence Inn on Hammonds Boulevard on January 27th. The coroner's report says the cause of death was hypothermia, which created a cardiac event. Bearden says that the city's strict regulations likely played a part.
I feel wholeheartedly that the city leadership is complicit in his passing because they have instituted ordinances that cause the individuals that we previously would have known exactly where they were staying every night to go further into the woods, to hide further away from the resources because of this camping ordinance.
As someone who works with resource centers, she has a vision for what the city needs to do better.
We could locate them, we could get them to safety and security, and we could keep identifying resources. With the new street medicine residency program, if we don't know where they're at, having residents that are willing and ready and eager to provide them support does no good if we can't find them.
But at the moment, she feels this is only possible with a fresh group of voices.
At this point, it appears that it's going to have to be a change in leadership. It's going to have to be the April City Council vote.
A vigil for James Boyer will take place right here at Spiva Park on Saturday, February 14th at 5 p.m. Reporting in Joplin, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
The city of Joplin did not respond to KOAM's request for comment. The Carthage School District considers major changes to Pleasant Valley Elementary. Superintendent Luke Boyer says no decision has been made yet, but the district needs to expand the Beacon Autism Center, which currently has a waiting list approaching the same number of students the district serves. Boyer says the Pleasant Valley campus is the only location that could support the expansion. The school board plans to discuss potential changes this month. Well, coming up next, new legislation introduced to help survivors have their day in court, just 1 day after Epstein's co-conspirator refused to answer questions from House lawmakers. And later, we're making a Sloppy Joe biscuit bake in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and other Democrats are standing with survivors of the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein as they introduce legislation to eliminate the statute of limitations for victims. The development comes just 1 day after Epstein's co-conspirator refused to answer questions about his crimes during a virtual deposition. Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
Justice should not expire.
Standing alongside survivors who say they were abused by Jeffrey Epstein and Virginia Giuffre's family, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer introduced a bill he called Virginia's Law.
It allows survivors to seek accountability when they're ready, when they're strong enough.
The proposed legislation would eliminate the statute of limitations that prevents some victims of sexual abuse from taking action against those they are accusing.
Change must mean justice, not someday, not in speeches.
The development comes just 1 day after Epstein's co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, refused to answer questions about the case during a virtual deposition before House lawmakers.
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Maxwell's attorney says she would be willing to cooperate if granted clemency by President Trump. Her attorney also says she would testify Trump is innocent of any wrongdoing.
I don't think she is going to be helpful at all to anyone in this unless and until she can get a promise that she'll be let out of jail.
On Capitol Hill, lawmakers have also begun viewing the DOJ's unredacted Epstein files, with Congress members Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna alleging powerful individuals are being protected.
What I saw that bothered me were the names of at least 6 men that have been redacted that are likely incriminated by their inclusion in these files.
They should be releasing these documents. We have many avenues where we can compel that legally.
The Miami Herald is reporting the files include an account from a former Palm Beach police chief who said President Trump told him that everyone knew of Epstein's activities, and he called Maxwell Epstein's operative, saying she is, quote, evil. The DOJ says it's not aware of any corroborating evidence that the president contacted law enforcement 20 years ago. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick faces bipartisan calls to resign over new revelations contained in the recent batch of files about his apparent close relationship with Epstein. Well, still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Do memories of your school cafeteria make you smile or cringe? The recipe we're whipping up today is one I bet we all wish we had.
And although we've got the clouds for now, rain not on the horizon today, but working in later this week. A look at your forecast when we come back.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon on what has turned out to be a mostly cloudy and somewhat cooler day for us out there. We're upwards, well, okay, ahead of the front. We've been below the where we reached yesterday, but some of us are already dipping with those temperatures further behind the front. Let's take a look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Again, we've got the clouds. I showed you temperatures earlier, so it's very evident where that cold front was. It has not yet made it south of the I-44 corridor, and again, data this morning said that it should be there, so it's slowed down a bit more, which is why a number of you down in our southeastern counties are getting to highs similar to what we saw yesterday, but your temperatures will begin to drop down as this front continues to sink on out. So here we are at 2 o'clock. There's that front. Assuming it holds its speed now, right along and south of I-44, it will push on through. We're going to get a little cooler. You can still see this data has actually even slowed it down more because it's now just barely outside of our area by 5. So it's taking its sweet time. But those of you back to the northwest, already a little cooler. And once we all get behind this front, we'll have those gusty north winds. Skies will clear rather quickly is the expectation, starting around midnight or so. And we'll have clear skies for the majority of our Wednesday. It'll be later in the day that we're going to start to go partly cloudy. Now, of course, with the cold front, while our temperatures aren't plummeting, we will be colder tonight. We will be cooler tomorrow. But in all cases, our temperatures, even on this up and down ride they're going to take over the next few days, they're expected to continue to remain above average. In some cases, maybe not as much as what we saw yesterday, but they'll still be above normal. All right, so here we go into our Thursday. Clouds begin increasing once again. A couple isolated showers are far northern counties, possible late morning, early afternoon on Thursday. For the rest of us, it'll be late Thursday into Friday where we could get an isolated shower or two. Not expecting too much, but that chance is there. Again, late Thursday into Friday. Saturday, though, we have the system to our south. We're looking for it to maybe get a little further to the north, and if it can do so, we might get some rain in places we need rain around the region, and some of this rain could come in the form of thunderstorms. Now, we're not expecting anything severe with this activity at this point, but we could get some thunderstorms, which would lead to some heavier periods of rain. The only drawback, because again, we need this rain, the drawback is the timing. It has to be on Valentine's Day. Now, I know for some folks, when I was a much younger person, didn't really matter. It could rain on Valentine's Day. Didn't bother me at all. But I know for others, it's a big deal. It's an inconvenience. So do be prepared, especially in the southern half of our area, for some showers and maybe a few thunderstorms as we go through the day on Saturday. Now, once we get into Sunday, maybe if you want to move your plans a day back, depends on how important the actual day is. Sunday, we're a little cooler again, but skies will begin to clear out, and we'll see a little more sunshine out there for us. Rest of today, again, these temperatures in many cases are already falling. Those of you southeast of the front, you're warmer than that, but your temperatures will fall too. We're back into the mid-30s tonight, so cold but above normal. Mid-50s for us tomorrow, mid-60s again on Thursday with the return of a southerly breeze. Then we're back down to the upper 50s, low 60s on Friday. A little cooler there on Saturday as well. Pinch warmer Sunday with some sunshine. We warm back up into the 60s, maybe some low 70s next week. And then another little system cooling us back to the mid 50s by next Thursday. So like I said, though, even though those temperatures are up and down, the highs and the lows all remaining above average over the next several days. It could get chilly. It's going to get a little cold here and there, but still above normal.
Definitely can't complain about that.
Not at all.
Thanks, Chris. Stick around. We're making Sloppy Joe biscuit bake in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. This may be a new take on a childhood favorite, whether you had it at the dinner table or in the lunchroom. Howard is showing us how he makes Sloppy Joe biscuit bake in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
The other day, a bunch of us were talking about foods that we remember from our school cafeteria days. One that I always loved was Sloppy Joe. It sounded so good when we were talking about it that I decided to recreate it, but with a twist. We started out by sauteing some ground beef along with some chopped onion and green pepper till it's brown. After pouring off the drippings, we add in some tomato sauce, a splash of Worcestershire, cider vinegar, yellow mustard, some brown sugar, garlic powder, and a little salt and pepper. After that simmers for a bit, we pour it into a casserole dish and top it with spoonfuls of biscuit dough that we just threw together from a mix. We'll bake it off, and what we end up with is nothing short of spectacular. It's so tasty, your gang's gonna wonder where you came up with this one. And when you serve the saucy, meaty filling over the biscuits, get ready for some good eating. I hope you'll go online and get the recipe for our Sloppy Joe biscuit bake so you can make new memories with a twist on an old cafeteria favorite. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we've rediscovered a nostalgic way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, so again, highs for some of you because that front has slowed down. You're back where we were yesterday. All of us cooling down tonight into the mid-30s. Cooler tomorrow. All of our temperatures, even when they get a little chilly, are still above normal. Isolated showers late Thursday and Friday. Maybe a few showers, thunderstorms possible southern half of our area on Valentine's Day. Keep the umbrella handy. Another warm up next week and another brief dip into the mid-50s by next Thursday.
Don't you love those temps?
Oh, I love them right now. Thank you so much, Chris. What do you have coming up for us today?
Well, a lot's coming up at 5. For starters, new research suggests a morning staple for a lot of us might lower the risk of dementia. Yeah, experts say the findings suggest people who had moderate consumption of caffeinated coffee or tea had a lower risk of dementia. Plus, the latest on the future of a proposed solar farm project planned in Crawford County. And we're going to have details on the proposed changes to Missouri's deer hunting regulations. Hope you'll join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today, KOAM News at 5.
Well, those all sound great, Dal. Thank you so much. I hope we're all going to enjoy this nice warm weather for a bit.
I intend to, you bet.
Yes, well, you can't ask for a nicer February. Well, that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us for KOAM News at noon. Have a great afternoon.